Hello and welcome to Company Interiors. My name's Nick Clark. This is a series of videos that we are offering for floral arrangements using our preserved plant ranges. Now you might have seen some of our videos on moss walls, moss frames. I'm in my home office here, which again enjoying the real plants and house plants around our area. We're trying to bring nature into our environment. Sometimes the use of preserved plants allows us to keep a floral arrangement, keep a moss wall for a long period of time. They will last forever, require no maintenance. So you've got some links in the description below that you can click on, and you can go to our shop where you can see some of the products that we are using, and you've also got the option of getting some free samples if you just cover the shipping. Again, there's a link in the description for some of the preserved mosses. So let's go and have a look at Denise. Today she's making a centerpiece arrangement, a table arrangement using preserved hydrangeas and also some of the ferns and eucalyptus that we offer. So it's looking great. Let's go and have a look.
Hi, Denise here from Company Interiors. Today I'm going to show you how to make a table arrangement using our purple and green preserved hydrangeas. Beautiful preserved flowers. They're real flowers that have been to preserve them. They're grown on farms in France and Italy, like all of our preserved product. They've been through a process to have the water removed and a glycerin solution put in place to preserve them. So they're fresh, look like fresh, feel like fresh, but they're preserved flowers and foliage. So the arrangement I'm working with today, I'm going to make a long table arrangement. So it would go in a center of a table, could go on a mantelpiece or a buffet, but I just want to make like a long, low arrangement. So today I'm working with a basket. You can use any container that you have around. This little basket just seems to be the right shape and size for what I want to do. I'm using florist foam to put my arrangement in, and I've just pre-cut the base of it a little bit just so it fits in my basket, and I have a lip of the foam protruding over the top to allow the foliage to sit in it. And I'm actually also just going to cut off at an angle along the edges. It gives more surface area for your flowers and foam to for your flowers to go into your foam, I should say. Once that's in the basket, in my case it's fairly loose, so depending on your arrangement, the container that you're using, you can use some florist tape to secure that. So I just put a little bit over the top here like this. Take your scissors, clip it off. Like, you don't want it too long because you don't want to be able to see that when you're finished. You need to make sure that you don't see the mechanics of your arrangement, but it does hold it in place, so that just in case your arrangement gets top heavy, it won't fall over. Let me just put one more piece of that on here. Now all of this will be covered by our foliage and flowers, so you won't see any of it. But that just sort of holds it in place, so it then doesn't tip over. Move the scissors. So the other things you're going to need today, obviously as I already showed you, a little knife for cutting your foam, the florist tape, and the scissors. Once that's in place, now you can start working with your products. So I'm going to, because my basket is long and thin, rather than using extra foam, you could put foam through the whole thing if you wanted to make a very full arrangement. In my case, because it's more of a center heavy piece, and you'll see with the foliage I'm using, I don't really need to put anything on the edges. So I'm just going to fill in the blanks in mine with a bit of moss. I happen to have some on hand. This is the reindeer moss. And so just that way, if there is any gaps in your foliage, you won't see the basket through. You can always add more at the end as well, just to adjust that if you do see any holes in your arrangement. Then next thing I want to do, I'm just going to position where I think I'm going to put my flowers. Now I have one beautiful purple one here. These come in a number of different colors. I'm working with the purple today for a sort of transitional fall arrangement. This one will go in the center. And the green one came as one piece with two branches, like it had a stem on it. And I just have the two smaller pieces. So I'm going to think in my case, I'm going to put one on either side of my centerpiece. So for now, I'm not going to put those in. I'm going to put these to one side, now that I know that that's going to fit nicely. And I'm going to start with my foliage. So here I've got 4 different types. I've got the green ivy, parchment leaves, this one which I now forget the name of that, and baby eucalyptus. I'll see as I go along if I'm going to use all of them, but that's a good starting point, is to have 4 different types of foliage for your arrangement. I usually try and do 3 or 4, but just work with what you have. If you have 2, then that'll work as well. So I've clipped off small pieces of my ivy. It comes in longer branches, and I've just cut off smaller pieces to work with. And I'm just going to go around and start by inserting some of these on the side edges of my arrangement. They're going to sort of drape down slightly, cover up the basket, and I'm going to start by building a foliage frame for my flowers. Some are a bit longer, some are a bit shorter. You just want a collection of them. Longer ones poking slightly to the side. I've got the foliage on both sides of my basket there. And for the edges, I'm going to work with these ferns. They're beautiful parchment ferns. They're beautiful green, flat. You could do lots of different projects with these ferns. In this case, I'm using them because I wanted to give some extra length to my arrangement, and these give you that structure. So next thing I'm going to put is this one. Now I love the color of this. It's like soft, dark and light greens, and it blends beautifully with the green of the hydrangeas I'm working with. So I like how that ties the green elements together. And it's a very interesting texture. Always working with different textures in your arrangement. Again, all of these pieces came as larger branches, which I've cut up into smaller pieces, so it's easy to work with. I'm just sort of layering these over the top of the ferns on the outer sides of my arrangement, if you can see that as I'm going along. Is to start putting our flowers in and see if they still fit and still look nice. So I'm going to start with my purple centerpiece. Now I had trimmed the bottom of this stem off a little bit just so it wasn't too long, because I wanted this to be a low arrangement. If you wanted it bigger, you could just keep the stem a little bit longer and create a fuller, bigger arrangement. Well, that's coming along. So I'm just going to try and squeeze in these green hydrangea. Now I'm wondering whether to make it completely symmetrical or do them slightly off to one side. So let me try inserting this and see how we like it. Looking nice, very full, very pretty. And you can see that we have some gaps here and on this side. So now we just need to get some extra foliage in there to fill in those holes. And it's going to start looking beautiful. So check back with me in a few minutes when I've filled in those gaps, and we'll see how the finished product looks. Welcome back. So here's our finished arrangement. Perfect centerpiece for a table. Purple and green hydrangeas nestled in some lovely green foliage. You could use this in a number of different places around your home or office, and change it up with other foliage, whatever you have on hand. This was all preserved material, so it will last you for a long time to come. If you'd like to see more videos, check out our YouTube channel and subscribe below.